Welcome back to our channel. We hope you'll find valuable content here. If you enjoy our channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Let's dive in. Hotel Business Basics. Imagine a hotel as a grand stage where every room, every service, from the plush towels to the warm welcome at the reception, is part of a meticulously rehearsed play. The goal? To ensure that every guest stay is as comfortable and seamless as possible. But behind the curtains, this performance is a complex dance of numbers and logistics. Hotels charge for the use of their rooms, the amenities they offer, like swimming pools and gyms, and the services they provide, such as room service and housekeeping. To keep this show running smoothly, they incur high fixed costs, expenses that remain the same regardless of how many guests are staying. These include the cost of building or renting the hotel, outfitting it with furniture, and maintaining the structure. Then there are variable costs, which fluctuate with the number of guests, like water usage, electricity, and food supplies. Hotels operate on what's called economies of scale and scope. This means the more rooms they fill and the more services they offer, the more cost-effective their operation becomes. They aim for consistent occupancy to ensure that they can cover their costs and make a profit. It's a delicate balance, like a tightrope walker constantly adjusting to stay upright. Seasonal dynamics. The hotel industry is also at the mercy of the seasons. Just like a beachside ice cream shop in winter, hotels experience low and high seasons. During the low season, which typically stretches from November to March, hotels might lower their prices to attract more guests. Conversely, in the high season, from May to August, when travelers flock to various destinations, hotels can charge higher rates. Hotel categories and major players. Hotels come in various shapes and sizes, much like a set of nesting dolls. At one end, we have economy hotels, modest, no-frills places to stay, primarily offering a bed and a bathroom. Then there are mid-scale hotels, which offer a few more amenities, like a business center or a complimentary breakfast. Upscale hotels add more luxury, with high-end furnishings and gourmet dining options. At the top are the luxury hotels, where extravagance is the norm, and every wish is catered to. In this diverse landscape, major corporations like Hilton and Marriott are like seasoned conductors of orchestras, each with a range of instruments, hotels, at their disposal. They have portfolios spanning from the simple to the sublime, with most of their earnings coming from the mid-scale and upscale brands, which strike a balance between luxury and affordability. As we explore this industry, we see a picture of an intricate ecosystem, where every player, from the budget inn on the roadside to the opulent high-rise in the city center, has a role in accommodating the world's travelers. Airbnb's innovative entry. Now, let's turn the page to a new chapter in the hospitality story, one that begins with the arrival of a game-changer, Airbnb. This is a tale of how a simple idea, letting people rent out their spare rooms or homes to travelers, grew into a global phenomenon. Disrupting the traditional model. Airbnb didn't start with grand hotels or even a single brick laid. Instead, it began as a platform, a virtual meeting place for hosts and guests. This platform business model was revolutionary because it built a bridge directly connecting those who have space to spare with those who need a place to stay. It's like a digital bulletin board that became a bustling marketplace. The beauty of Airbnb's approach is that it created a massive supply of lodging options without the capital costs that weigh down traditional hotels. There were no buildings to construct, no furnishings to buy, no staff to hire for maintenance. Anyone with a spare room or a vacation home could become a host, turning idle space into income. It was a bit like a gold rush, where the gold was the untapped potential of millions of homes around the world. Comparison of scale. In terms of sheer numbers, Airbnb's model allowed for rapid scaling. By 2021, the platform boasted 6 million active listings, a number that eclipsed the combined total of rooms from the giants of the hotel industry, Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, IHG, and Wyndham. This wasn't just a milestone, it was a statement that the hospitality landscape had changed forever. Revenue and growth. Financially, Airbnb's growth trajectory was impressive. In 2021, the company's revenue reached $5.9 billion, putting it in the same league as some of the major hotel chains. More than just a competitor, Airbnb became a force to be reckoned with, outpacing traditional hotels not just in the number of listings but also in the speed of its growth. As we reflect on Airbnb's innovative entry into the market, it's clear that the company didn't just offer a new way to stay, it offered a new way to think about travel and hospitality. It capitalized on the sharing economy, where access is valued over ownership, and experiences are prized above possessions. Hotel industry's strategic response. As we delve into the narrative of the hotel industry's countermove to Airbnb's challenge, it's akin to a seasoned chess player responding to an unexpected opening move. The industry, steeped in tradition and experience, was not about to yield its throne without a strategic fight. Adapting to change. The hotel industry, witnessing the rise of Airbnb, didn't stand still. It began to pivot, subtly yet significantly. The pivot was towards an asset-light, fee-based platform model, akin to a tree shedding heavy, old branches to grow new, more resilient ones. This meant that instead of owning and operating all their properties, hotel companies started focusing on their brands and the management of their hotels. Franchising model. One of the key strategies was franchising. Imagine a popular coffee shop allowing local entrepreneurs to open their own branches. These entrepreneurs would use the shop's name, supply chain, and business model, but they would own the physical coffee shop and manage the day-to-day operations. In return, they'd pay fees to the parent company. This is how hotel franchising works. It allows for rapid expansion without the parent company shouldering the costs of building new hotels. They grow their presence and revenue by collecting fees from these franchisees. Asset-light strategy. Simultaneously, many hotel giants began selling off their properties, a move akin to a tech company outsourcing its hardware manufacturing to focus on software development. This asset-light strategy allowed them to pour resources into brand development and management services, rather than being bogged down by real estate. They became nimble, able to adapt more quickly to market changes, much like a speedboat compared to a cruise ship. Challenges for Airbnb. While Airbnb was expanding rapidly, it wasn't without its own set of challenges. Unlike hotels, which have standardized rooms and services, Airbnb's offerings are as varied as the homes and experiences of its hosts. This can lead to service inconsistency, where a guest might have a 5-star experience one time and a 3-star experience the next. Additionally, safety and regulatory challenges began to emerge, with cities around the world imposing rules on short-term rentals. These factors affected the quality and customer satisfaction that Airbnb could consistently deliver. The hotel industry's strategic response was not a single move but a series of adaptations, leveraging decades of experience and the strengths of their established brands. They showed resilience and a capacity for innovation that matched the disruptors' agility. The evolution of hospitality. The hospitality industry is like a grand old river that has been flowing through the landscape of travel and tourism for centuries. Over time, it has encountered many disruptions, from the advent of commercial aviation to the digital revolution. Each time, it has adapted, finding new paths and sometimes even carving out entirely new landscapes. With the arrival of Airbnb, the river met a significant tributary. This new stream brought with it a fresh way of thinking about travel accommodation, a more personal, varied, and accessible approach. The traditional hotel industry, rather than resisting this new current, began to merge with it, adopting some of its characteristics and enhancing its own strengths. The shift towards experiences. One of the most significant shifts has been the move towards offering experiences, not just rooms. Hotels have started to realize that travelers are looking for more than a place to sleep, they are looking for an experience that is unique to the location they are visiting. This could mean anything from cooking classes with a local chef to guided tours of hidden neighborhood gems. By offering these experiences, hotels are not just competing with Airbnb, they are redefining what it means to travel. The integration of technology. Another implication of this adaptation is the increased integration of technology in the hotel experience. From mobile check-ins to smart rooms that guests can customize to their preferences, hotels are leveraging technology to enhance the guest experience, streamline operations, and reduce costs. This mirrors the tech-savvy approach of Airbnb, which relies on its app and website to connect hosts and guests. Sustainability and community impact. Sustainability has also come to the forefront. As travelers become more environmentally conscious, hotels are responding by implementing green practices, from reducing waste to using renewable energy sources. This not only appeals to the eco-minded guest but also helps hotels reduce their operational costs. Moreover, there's a growing emphasis on the community impact. Hotels are increasingly aware of their role in the local economy and their impact on local communities. By sourcing locally, hiring from the neighborhood, and contributing to local causes, they are building goodwill and a sense of community that can rival the homey appeal of an Airbnb stay. The future of hospitality. As we look to the future, it's clear that the hotel industry's strategic response to Airbnb is not a temporary countermove but a long-term evolution. Hotels are becoming more than just places to stay, they are becoming platforms for experiences, hubs of technology, champions of sustainability, and integral parts of their communities. The broader implications of these changes are profound. They suggest a future where the lines between traditional hotels and alternative lodging options like Airbnb continue to blur. A future where the choice isn't between a hotel or an Airbnb, but between different kinds of experiences, each with its own charm, comfort, and connection to the local culture. In this evolving landscape, the winners will likely be those who can combine the efficiency and consistency of a hotel with the personal touch and uniqueness of an Airbnb. It's a future that's not just about where you stay, but how those stays enrich your travels and your understanding of the world. As we close this chapter, we see a hospitality industry that is more diverse, more adaptable, and more attuned to the needs of today's travelers than ever before. It's an industry that has learned to dance to the rhythm of change, embracing new ideas while holding on to the timeless principles of hospitality. Practical implications for travelers and hosts. In a world where the lines between traditional hotels and platforms like Airbnb are blurring, travelers and hosts are presented with a new set of opportunities and challenges. This chapter would delve into how the strategic shifts in the hospitality industry affect the choices and experiences of both travelers and hosts. For travelers. Travelers today are faced with an abundance of choices. They can opt for the traditional hotel experience, with its predictability and standardized service, or go for an Airbnb stay, which might offer a more personalized and local experience. The implications of this are profound. Increased options, travelers can choose accommodations that best fit their preferences, budget, and the type of experience they seek. Personalization, with technology and the emphasis on experiences, travelers can expect more personalized stays that cater to their interests and needs. Value for money, the competition between hotels and Airbnb can lead to better deals and more value for money for travelers. Cultural immersion, Airbnb stays often offer a deeper cultural experience, as guests can stay in residential areas and live like locals. For hosts. For hosts, the rise of the sharing economy has opened up new revenue streams and ways to share their homes and cultures with others. However, it also comes with its own set of considerations. Economic opportunity, homeowners have the opportunity to monetize their extra space by hosting guests. Regulatory navigation, hosts must navigate local regulations and laws, which can vary widely and change frequently. Quality and consistency, to compete with hotels, Airbnb hosts need to provide a high level of service and consistency. Community impact, hosts are at the forefront of the impact on local communities, balancing the benefits of tourism with the preservation of local culture and infrastructure. The shared economy's ripple effect. The shared economy has not just changed how we travel, it has also had a ripple effect on related industries, from real estate to local businesses. The implications are far-reaching, affecting everything from property prices to the vibrancy of local economies. Looking ahead. As we look to the future, it's clear that the hospitality industry will continue to evolve, with travelers and hosts alike adapting to the changing landscape. The success of both hotels and platforms like Airbnb will depend on their ability to balance consistency with personalization, global reach with local impact, and innovation with tradition. The future of hospitality, an industry in transformation. The hospitality industry stands at a crossroads, shaped by innovation and tradition. As we peer into the horizon, we see an industry that is not just changing but transforming in response to the digital age and the new values of its consumers. Technology as a catalyst for change. Technology will continue to be a driving force in the hospitality industry. From artificial intelligence that can predict our travel preferences to virtual reality experiences that can transport us to a destination before we even pack our bags, the possibilities are endless. Hotels and platforms like Airbnb will likely invest more in technology to enhance the guest experience, streamline operations, and create new revenue streams. Consumer preferences shaping services. The travelers of tomorrow are not just looking for a place to stay, they are looking for an experience. They value authenticity, sustainability, and personalization. The hospitality industry will need to continue to adapt to these preferences, offering more than just a room but a gateway to the local culture and environment. Sustainability as a standard. Sustainability will move from being a niche concern to a standard expectation. Travelers are increasingly aware of their environmental footprint, and the industry will respond by integrating sustainable practices into every aspect of their operations, from energy-efficient buildings to waste reduction programs. The blended model of accommodation. We will likely see a blended model of accommodation emerge, where the lines between hotels, Airbnb, and other forms of lodging become increasingly blurred. Hotels may offer rooms with kitchenettes and living spaces to compete with Airbnb, while Airbnb may offer options that include more hotel-like services. The role of personalization. Personalization will be key. With data analytics and machine learning, hospitality providers can tailor their offerings to the individual preferences of each guest, from room temperature to food choices. This level of service could redefine loyalty and guest satisfaction. The impact on local communities. As the industry grows, its impact on local communities will be scrutinized. There will be a balance to strike between welcoming tourists and preserving the character and resources of local areas. Both hotels and platforms like Airbnb will need to work with local governments and communities to ensure that tourism benefits everyone involved. A dynamic future awaits. The future of hospitality is dynamic and exciting, filled with opportunities for those willing to embrace change and innovation. As we close this chapter, we look forward to an industry that is more diverse, more responsive, and more connected to the needs and desires of travelers around the world. Synthesis and key takeaways. In this concluding chapter, we reflect on the lessons learned and the strategies that have emerged as a result of the interplay between traditional hospitality models and the disruptive forces of the sharing economy. Embracing change and innovation. The first and perhaps most crucial lesson is the importance of embracing change. The hospitality industry's response to Airbnb's entry was not to resist but to adapt and innovate. Hotels have begun to adopt an asset-light model, focusing on brand and management rather than property ownership. This shift has allowed them to remain nimble and competitive in a rapidly changing market. The importance of brand and experience. Another key takeaway is the enduring power of brand and the experience it promises. Whether it's a luxury hotel or a cozy Airbnb listing, what sets successful businesses apart is the ability to deliver a consistent, high-quality experience that resonates with customers. In the age of social media and online reviews, a strong brand that can deliver on its promises is more important than ever. The role of technology in personalization. Technology has emerged as a central player in the personalization of guest experiences. From AI-driven recommendations to digital concierge services, the ability to tailor the guest experience to individual preferences has become a significant differentiator. This trend is likely to accelerate as technology becomes more sophisticated and integrated into every aspect of the hospitality experience. Sustainability as a competitive advantage. Sustainability is no longer just a buzzword, it's a business imperative. Travelers are increasingly conscious of their environmental impact, and hospitality providers that can offer eco-friendly options are finding favor with this growing demographic. Sustainable practices are not just good for the planet, they're good for business. Collaboration with local communities. The relationship between hospitality businesses and local communities has come into sharp focus. There's a growing recognition that sustainable tourism should benefit local economies and respect local cultures. Successful businesses are those that find ways to collaborate with local communities, whether through sourcing local products, supporting local employment, or engaging in community development projects. Preparing for the future. Finally, we look to the future. The hospitality industry must continue to anticipate and prepare for new trends and shifts in consumer behavior. This might mean investing in new technologies, exploring new business models, or finding innovative ways to create and deliver value to guests. As we conclude our exploration, we recognize that the hospitality industry is not defined by the buildings it occupies but by the experiences it creates and the memories it helps forge. The industry's ability to adapt, to embrace new ideas while upholding the timeless tenets of great service, will continue to be the cornerstone of its success.